yoga, we work with light quite a bit, and I thought it'd be fun to bring in how we could work with our own inner light in this practice. So let's begin by starting in a tabletop or all fours position. Thanks for joining the practice. So come to all fours position and in breath as you just draw the light in, draw your awareness in, and exhale as you get the back body really full. Tuck your toes under, and with your toes tucked under, with your hands, a giant step forward. On the in-breath, just lift your knees up off the floor, keep your knees bent, and come to downward facing dog, or just stay in all fours position. Your practice this morning, you just want to honor where you're at. I'm moving from side to side as a way to bring awareness to the right side ribs and to the left side ribs. As you move your pelvis, you start to bring awareness from the armpit all the way to the pelvis on both sides as you move. Now come back to the very center of that movement, still with your knees bent. Bend your right knee even more. Draw your right knee toward the earth as you press your left heel now toward the earth. Just keep your head released. Just allow for the sensation that you're feeling the back side of your leg to expand nicely. Now straighten your right leg and lift your left heel up. Bend your left knee and draw your right heel to the earth. So now your awareness starts to expand to these different areas in the body. Just through the breath, you're keeping your awareness to the area of the heart, to how the ribs are moving nicely. Now bend both knees, so both heels are lifted nicely. With your knees bent, just draw your pelvis way back so that you start to observe or maybe feel the nice curve in the spine, especially the lumbar spine. Now walk your feet up to the front of the mat and just stand in this forward fold as you come to the front of the mat. Have your feet hip distance apart. I like using blocks or just using my legs here to place my hands somewhere so that the arms can help support me in this forward fold. You don't want to go too deep at the beginning of your practice. On the in-breath, just bring the light in and expand. On the exhale breath, just allow the light to just disperse fully so that you have this like beautiful light around you as well as in you. Inhale, bring the light in. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale as you rise up full of light. Exhale as you soften. Now place your hands alongside your ankles to step your right leg back. I noticed in my practice the other day that I kind of dump all my weight in my hands in these lunges. So see if actually you can just kind of lift your hands up so that your legs are supporting you. Now, keeping this lightness, just place your fingertip tops onto the mat. Or if you prefer using blocks, just kind of fingertip tops on the blocks. And that way you start to just get a little bit more energy in the legs. And notice if you dump all your weight, go ahead and try it, all your weight into your palms flat, how you're just kind of shedding the light. You're just drawing from the heart to the hands to release the light. But if you come up to fingertips and kind of paw the mat or just have a soft touch, you see that you have to pull in from the fingertips to the heart. Now step your right foot forward. Place both hands to your low back and hug your elbows in to rise up. Just pause here in Tadasana. Just bring the light in, this idea of prakasha, just bringing awareness to this inner light, these inner waves of light. And on the exhale, you're just going to release your light into the world. With that recognition of who you are, you can expand so much more fully. You can spread that awareness to others. With your gaze really bright, your eyes bright, reach your arms up and reach them back. Exhale, come down to the earth again. Just place your hands once again lightly on the earth as you step your left foot back. And with the left foot back, let's just try that comparison again, as if you're just kind of dumping all your weight from your heart to your hands. Press your hands to the floor. And you see that certainly does engage in different parts of the body. But if you have lightness to your fingertips, again, almost no grasp of the earth, you're drawing into your power first so that you can expand out in your pose. Step your back foot forward. Place both hands to your low back with knees bent with a nice lumbar curve. Root down to rise up. Reach up to the sky again. Take your hands wide apart. Reach up and back. Exhale, bend your knees. Place your hands alongside your ankles and step yourself back to either all fours position or plank position. Now in plank position, that action that we were doing, kind of dumping all of our weight into our hands, it feels like we're doing the same thing here, but see if you can have that drawing sensation. Again, you can be in all fours position if that works better for you. See if you can draw from the fingers all the way to the heart. Move yourself slightly forward so the shoulders are forward of your fingertips and lower yourself down. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften down. Now place your hands right alongside your body here. And press your palms down to the earth. And as you press down, just lift up nicely. Exhale, soften. Now just get a little lightness in the fingertip position and you draw into your power as you rise up. And exhale, you just soften down. And two more. Inhale, you rise up. Exhale, you soften. Now, not necessary, but let's just see if you can just take it to the next step by reaching your arms to the side. Again, just trying this. With your arms to the side, inhale, you rise up. Just slightly more difficult to get the lift. Exhale, soften. And one more time. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, soften. Now the third position is, I think, a little bit more challenging here, or decidedly more challenging. Take your hands forward and inhale, rise up. Arms lift up, exhale, soften. And again, inhale, rise up. And exhale, soften. So yogi's choice here. You can start where we were with our arms to the side, with our arms out to our arms by our pelvis, our arms to the side, our arms forward. We'll do this 3 more times, your choice. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Place your hands right alongside your ribs. You draw your light in on the in-breath to rise up in a baby cobra pose. You exhale, you soften. Come to all fours position. Make your way either downward facing dog or child's pose, your choice. Just pause in whatever pose you choose. Take your attention to your breath. The in-breath being that undulating light inside. The exhale breath being your expression, your release of your own potential. You draw the light in just to discover those gifts. And then it's time to just give those gifts to others. You receive the knowledge of the gifts. And then you just give them away. Make your way up to the front of the mat. Place both hands to your low back with your knees bent. Hug your elbows in to rise up. Reach up again to the sky with the hands wide apart, with the hands reaching back. Exhale, come down to the earth. Inhale, get long and tall, rise up. Exhale, step to all fours or plank position again. Lower yourself to the mat. Whatever variation of Shalabhasana you wanted to use, hands back, hands to the side, hands forward. Now let's add the feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften. 2 more. You draw the breath in and exhale, release. Work with the light as you pull the light in to expand. And exhale, release. Come back through all fours position. In all fours position, draw the right knee in. Now again, this expression of pulling in to expand out. Reach your right leg straight back. Again, pull in. Reach your light fully. Last time, draw in, expand out, and release your right leg down. Now, opposite side, draw your left knee in, reach your left leg out, and draw your left knee in. A friend of mine said, this is like the WD-40 for yoga poses here. It just gets your hip nice and fluid here. Draw in and reach out and release your knee down. Now you can try that on all fours, or now let's lift up to downward facing dog and do the same thing. You draw into the light with the right knee. Now expand and reach out. 2 more. You hug in. You expand your light. 1 more. You hug in. You expand out. This time, bend your right knee to really open up here. Just get this nice fullness. Release your right leg down. Opposite side. Take your left knee in. Reach your left leg straight back out. Hug in. Reach out. Hug in. Reach out. Bend your left knee. Open up so that you get this nice length. All the way from the heart to the knee. Just feel the length. You feel that light just expanding so fully. Release your left foot down. Walk your feet up to your hands. Place your hands to your low back. Root down to rise up. We were down for a while, so just pause here in Tadasana. Pause. Prakasha, this idea, just bringing the light in. And in the style of yoga that I practice, with this whole idea of energetic action, bringing the light in and expanding the energy out, is really one of the basic tenets to the alignment principles. You first draw in to the midline before expanding out. So let's have your eyes be bright and open, and we'll do one Surya Namaskar. What we're drawing into the midline, in yoga they call it the Sushumna, this light inside that they often refer to as the column of light. And then you expand out from that center line. So as you step to the front of the mat, lift your arms up and back. Exhale, come to the earth. Inhale, get long and tall, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, come to plank or all fours. Lower yourself slowly down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften down. Inhale through all fours to downward facing dog, or just stay in all fours. Step your right foot right between your hands. Step your left foot forward. Place both hands to the low back and rise up. One more with twists. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, come to the earth. Inhale, lengthen out and shine your light. Exhale, place your hands softly and step your right leg back. And with that soft structure of the arms, you pull into your power. Turn your heart toward your inner knee. You can reach your left arm up to do a nice twist. You can take the left arm over to get length from the pelvis to the fingertips. Release your hand down. Step to a plank position or all fours. Lower yourself all the way to the mat. Inhale, heart is forward. Exhale, shift back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot right between your hands. Again, this lightness on your fingertips. You can even lift your hands to make sure your legs are doing their full part here. Twist, turn toward the right inner knee. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Reach your right arm over your head so you get this nice length. Release your hand down, step your back foot forward. Place both hands to the low back, hug the elbows in, and rise up. Good. Another pause. Just invite a nice in-breath and out-breath as you pause. And we'll be doing a balance pose, your choice, on the mat or off the mat. Just root down in your Tadasana so fully. But I missed the instruction. The first instruction is to pull in from the earth, of course, to gather that light before expressing it fully as you press down from the pelvis to the earth. And as you're ready, just take your weight over to your left leg. Just root down through the left leg. See about lifting up your right and just interlace your fingers behind the right thigh. Stand tall and reach your foot forward so that you get this nice length here, this nice lift as you pause on your standing leg. See if you can lift your foot even higher. And now slowly bend your knee and root down through both legs. That's it. We'll just, once again, be solid. To get that idea of being solid on the earth, first you have to pull into your strength and light. And now, as you root down through, especially the right foot, lift the left leg up and just pause there. Find how you can just be steady on one leg. And as you're ready, you can extend out. As you extend out, just have this nice steadiness to the breath, nice ease to the facial muscles. Let your lifted leg just be like this ray of light. You're just expanding out so fully. And slowly release your foot to the earth, back to Tadasana. Step back to your mat and go wide on your mat. Take your hands right at your hip points and turn your right toes out. So we'll keep the legs straight, just as we were in the balance pose. Lift your arms up and draw over to the side. Just take your hands somewhere. And just like we were working on in the lunges, like that, you're not dumping your weight into the hand. You're kind of pulling in from the hand to the heart. Good. And now expand your pose even more. Reach your arm up and over your head. So all the way from the back foot, out through the crown of the head, to the fingertips. You feel like this axis of energy, this light just expanding so fully. And root down to lift yourself out of the pose. Good. Release your hands and step your feet hip distance apart. Pause there. Just enjoy your breath. And as you pause, just drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Reach your left arm down. Take your right hand to your head and push your head into the palm of your hand. So you just get an easeful neck stretch and make sure your head is actually working up against the hand. Drop your chin toward your collarbone. And inhale, lift your head up. Then other side, take your hand to your head. Press your head into your hand. Reach your right arm down very fully. In Utthita Trikonasana, I find that the neck, you find these areas of the neck that there's kind of this dullness, not much light going on. So you have to really work to get the light to express itself in that pose. Drop your chin toward your chest. And now as we lengthen out these neck muscles, as we go to the opposite side, inhale, lift your head up, release your hands. As we go to the opposite side, step wide, take your left toes out and sweep your arms up. Good, and now you've got this nice elongation of the neck muscles. So you just draw it down to triangle pose. And take your gaze up to your extended right hand. Now see, now that you've got a little bit more flexibility in the neck, see if you can follow those fingertips with your gaze. So take the arm over your head and now just kind of release the gaze and look forward again. Just invite the breath to expand through the side body. You draw in from the feet to the pelvis. You're expanding back out from the pelvis to the feet, from the pelvis all the way to the outstretched arm over your head. And root down to rise up out of your pose. Exhale, release your hands and step your feet hip distance apart. Once again, if you'd like to step off the mat, go ahead and do so. But we will be doing one more balance pose. And to get our feet ready for that pose, let's on 2 feet balance, bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, spread your toes so that you get this nice wide foundation. Now lift your heels up just slightly. So this helps to spread your foundation because your toes really have to start working here with your heels lifted. Lift your arms as well. Let your arms be just an integral part of this whole expression of shining the light. So as you hug in from the toes to the pelvis, you have this nice expansion out from the pelvis to the crown of the head and out through your fingertips. And draw your heels down and inhale, rise up. Come to triangle again. So step wide. Place your hands at your hips. Look at your feet. Make sure that you've got this nice, strong foundation with a nice spread to the toes. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, draw to triangle pose. Good. Just get this expression of shining light. Release your hand to the hip, bend your knee, step in, and now let's come to the balance. Step in, and with the right foot very firmly planted, lift up your left leg. Lift up your left arm. And now shine out so fully. You can stay in this pose or just do that variation that we were playing with. Take your arm over your head. And remember how we were trying to avoid dumping all of our weight into our fingertips, into our hand. See if you can create a little bit more lightness on the hand that's on the floor. Now, keep a nice steadiness as you come back to triangle pose. So bend your knee, reach back, line up the right heel with the left foot, and come back to your triangle pose. And rise up. Very nice. And release your hands and step your feet again, hip distance apart. Pause. Just reflect on that inner light. And let the breath help your imagination. Help you to see those particles, those waves of light just undulating within. And now with your eyes bright, step wide again. You may want to step a little bit further toward the right edge of the mat so that you've got plenty of room. Draw over to triangle pose. Look down and step in. See if you can find your way to Ardha Chandrasana, this half moon pose. And as you find that balance point, see about lifting your back leg even higher. And maybe even expanding your light by taking your arm over your head, whatever variation you like in this pose. The neck should feel free after those neck stretches that we did. And slowly make your way out of the pose. Bend your standing leg. look at your back foot. So when it lands lined up with the front foot. Come to triangle pose. Root down to rise up. All right, and release your hands. And step your feet to Tadasana. Pause again. Close your eyes. You know, this idea of prakasha, just recognizing the light, and vimarsha, you know, this, like when others see your potential, this mirroring that they do, sometimes we don't see it, they see it, they tell us about it. It's like, oh, I have this gift, I have this light. And it's only through their mirroring that we can really shine it. We can really express fully. And now, with your eyes bright, let's come to a seated pose. So as you sit down, just take your feet forward in Dandasana. Just press your fingertip tops really nicely so that you get this nice fullness in your Dandasana. Great. From that fullness, now bend your knees. Walk your hands back just slightly and bend your elbows a lot. So it feels like the heart, this kind of center of our light, just kind of drops back. So see about squeezing your elbows in so that you can get the heart to express really fully. Claw the earth with the fingertip tops. And if you wish, you can lift your pelvis up. So as you lift the pelvis up, see if you can get the heart to lift, the feet to draw in toward the hands, or just stay parked on your pelvis. Release down, and let's, with the pelvis down, bend your elbows again, draw your elbows in to open the area of the heart. Very nice. Now keep that openness and come back to Dandasana. Press the backs of the thighs fully. And now you get this nice version, this nice opening of the light here. Good. Let's come to a twisting pose. So take your right leg on top of your left and just park your foot to the outside of the left hip. If you've got a strap, grab it. If you don't, just take your hands to your legs. I always love using the strap because I just feel like I keep my alignment so much better with the strap. So as you widen your elbows, lift your elbows high and draw your elbows forward. And the spine, in the full form of the pose, of course, does round, but we're not going to the fullest form of the pose. We're just trying to keep the spine as elongated as possible to allow the light to just continue to expand, to flow evenly. You know, when that column of light it gets really rounded, it's hard for this full expression to occur. So as you keep lengthening in the spine, reach your gaze toward your toe tips. Bow forward. Inhale, rise up. All right, other side. So extend now your right leg forward. Bend your left. Take your foot to the outside of the pelvis and just line up your knees nicely. Again, just draw forward. So this extra weight on the right leg really helps you to get this nice line of energy through the back side of the leg. And now let's just, you can probably feel that line of energy as contraction right now. At least that's the way it's appearing for me. Just continue to draw your heart forward. Lift your elbows, reach your elbows forward. Soften, soften, soften. And inhale. So now our heart area became so contracted. So before we lie down, let's open it one more time by bending your knees, walk your hands back, bend your elbows, draw your elbows in, and just lift your heart nicely. Just see how full and bright you can make it by hugging the elbows in toward each other. You start to feel the shoulder blades come to almost kiss one another at the back body. All right. And now lower yourself all the way to the mat with your knees bent. Pause here. Take your hands to your low belly in this pause. Now, just get as much curve as you can as you lift your belly into your palms. Now, exhale and just let your palms do a little bit of work as they press the flesh back to the mat. So it's that same pose we started in, cat-cow. We're just doing it on our backs. Inhale. Draw the light in. Exhale. Expand your light. Just give it away. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out fully. Now straighten your left leg. Take your arms out in this nice T position. Place your right foot just to the top of the left thigh. And now lift the right side of your hip up off the floor. Just come to an easy twist. If your knee's okay with it, just take your left hand to that outer right thigh. And just invite a little bit more fullness here. Inhale, lift your knee back up. Straighten your right leg. Bend your left. Take the left foot just to the top of the right thigh, or middle of the right thigh, and twist. You can take your right hand to the outer left thigh. And make your way back to the center position with both knees bent, with your feet planted, with your elbows to your side. Press into the elbows. Inhale, lift your pelvis up. This pose, this bridge pose, is just such a wonderful expression to me. This whole idea of percussion and vimarsha. You draw in from your feet, pull the heels in toward your heart. It fires up your hamstrings, just draws this energy in first before you expand out. And you expand out from your heart all the way to the knees. Feel this nice fullness here. And slowly you can release down the pelvis down to the mat. Take your knees up toward your ribs or your feet up toward the sky and hold on to your feet just to move side to side. And as you do, like you will feel those areas that just don't feel like the light has exactly entered. You'll feel a little dark or a little contracted. So stay there when you're rocking and you feel some areas that are just really not as full and bright as others. If you just give your weight to those areas, you'll get the blood to circulate there. You'll bring just a little bit more fullness there. So it's got to be a really slow action. You're not rocking rapidly side to side. You're just moving oh so slowly and gracefully. That just encourages this contemplative nature. You just draw your awareness into the light. As you're ready, you can now expand. Enjoy your rest in Shavasana. If you need to go on to your daily activities, thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.